I, as a yachtsman of many years, and having been caught in many storms, I can tell you that I really do admire these men who in actual fact sail these crab ships out there and get into those storms and then stand on those decks with those massive waves. Unless you've actually experienced that, you just don't understand how huge these things are. They're like moving mountains when you're on these ships. You know, you're not far above the level of the water, but you're in actual fact very close to the water. But you know, when you are dealing with that sort of wave, it's a man crusher. Now, one of the things that occurs to me when I see these boats is how much fuel they use every time they go out to get these crabs. I mean, those engines will keep on going for maybe a week or 2 weeks, whatever their trip is. That engine will keep going, and it supplies power, as you know, to all the hydraulic systems, and all the lights and everything comes from that engine. So the draw on that engine, the actual power on that engine, is absolutely amazing. It just keeps on going all the time. Now, one of the things that you know, I've come across, and I just want to show you a picture of it. This here is what we call a fuel cell. You can probably see that in that picture there. Okay, you can see it. And they aren't as big as this, but this is just a large picture of it, just to show you, give you an idea of what it is. And this is actually the fuel cell, and this is the actual, this is the bubbler over here. That's the bubbler there, and that's the fuel cell on this side over here. And these are the connecting wires and etc. But that wasn't what I was trying to show. I was just trying to show you the general concept of a fuel cell, and that produces what we call Brown's gas, and it can supplement the fuel in a boat such as the Cornelia Maria or any of these vast boats, and save up to 40% of the fuel. And that is for trucks, boats, anything you wish to use it on. And here's another picture of another one, and this one actually shows you another development which we've done, and that up there is a sort of a header tank which has the electrolytes in, etc., feeding these two tanks as they require it down here, and that enables it to keep on going and feeding itself. So those are the two fuel cells. Now, this does not affect the injectors of the engines. All it does is it comes in via the air system, generally speaking, so it doesn't come in via the injectors. But what it will do, it will clean up the engine, but also cool the engine. That's an absolute fact of the matter. And I've had this on my car, where the dial, instead of running at sort of you know, that level there, is down like that. And so if you said it was at running at quarter two, it's down at 22 when it's running with a fuel cell, because when that gas goes through in the H2O, it reconverts again back into water vapor, and that takes the heat out the engine and cools even the engine down. So, and also because you're burning less particulates, the result is that your emissions are right down. To give you an example, we put one on a Mercedes class, Mercedes-Benz E-Class about 3 weeks ago now, and the reading was 1.75, and before we put the fuel cell on. Once we had put the fuel cell on, it reduced the reading down to 0.85, and then about a couple of days later it went down to 0.8 and slightly less than that. That means that the particulates, it was burning more of the fuel, and it had fewer particulates for throwing out through the back. So it was far more efficient. The engine was running far cooler, and it of course was saving a lot of fuel by doing that. And this was immediately apparent as we were driving along the road, and you could see that the fuel utilization was down from what it normally was. So, you know, when you put a boat out like that and you can save between, say, 20 and 40% of the fuel, that is a huge saving for these guys. And I would urge them to look at it and really try and get a fuel cell into their boats. And I'm talking about British fishing boats, any fishing boat that is around the world, they can save. I mean, even tugs can save fuel by putting fuel cells in, and save an absolute fortune. Just to give an example, this, if I've got here the name and address, if you want to see, you can see it's Fuel Savers, and it shows you the tfuelcell.com, the contact email address, our international telephone number there, and the phone number in the UK. That's if you want to actually have a look and chat to us about the fuel cells. Thank you very much. This is Barry Thornton signing off.